Well, the downside of depreciation, which is writing off the cost of certain things, there is accelerated depreciation, is when you sell the building. So you bought for X. Now you depreciated the value. So now your cost basis was this, but you took write-offs and taxes. So your cost basis goes lower. That difference is the depreciation you took. Sometimes people take it over the years, like 27 and a half years for an apartment building. Sometimes you can do what's called accelerated depreciation. You can depreciate a lot of items inside, like the curtains, this, and get quickly as much of the depreciation. So when you have profit, it's written off against the depreciation. You don't pay taxes. The problem is when you sell. If you're going to sell and cash out, you're going to pay taxes on the gain if you sold it with a profit. And on the depreciation, you have what's called by the IRS depreciation recapture rate. And the depreciation recapture rate, that which you depreciated, you will pay taxes against it at 25%. So they get you. They get you later on. How to avoid that? You just defer. You don't do a sale. You do an exchange. You do a deferral of taxes. So now you bought the property here. You depreciated it. And you're going to sell it at this price. Now you don't sell. You tell the escrow, the title company, I'm not cashing out. I'm going to identify up to 3 properties. That's an exchange now, 1031 exchange. And within the next 45 days, they will put you in touch with an accommodator, and you're going to have 45 days to identify up to 3 properties and total and 135 days additional to when you sell. The money goes to the accommodator. They're fiduciaries now. They hold it, and then it rolls over to the new property. So now the new property, you bought it for X, but your cost basis is this because it carries over the cost basis. And then the other one, you're going to do another depreciation. And then you do a write-off, and the guy that bought this property does another depreciation on the new price they paid because how come the IRS let them do this? Because they get cost depreciation 25% recapture rate. And the person is stuck now staying in real estate with debt, which pays the banks, which pays interest, which helps the government. And the entire thing, if you really understand the game of money is played through brick and mortar of real estate in the United States of America, not any other country, because they will devaluate the currency. Yeah, come and buy in Cancun for pesos, and then you think you got a great deal and you're going to flip for more money, and then 5 years later they devalue the peso, and if you sell, you barely break even, and you have taxes in Mexico and taxes in the US, and they're asking you why you were out there. You convoluted your taxes. So understand, the game is played by finding the right properties in the right locations where you can come in, add certain value, get some income, get the bank to loan you at lower interest rate. They're still quoting the interest rate less than inflation. How much better can it be? It doesn't get any better than that. And then hold on to the building. You don't make your money buying or selling. You make your money holding on. You get the cash flow, take the depreciation, keep the buildings. And if it gets paid off completely, you can refinance, get credit lines, buy other buildings. And that's how money is made. I made money from an idea. And the biggest wealth is made when the idea is solidified through that brick and mortar with the bank saying to you, here is the money. And the banks get the money from the government, and the government prints the money. At the end of the day, who's got the buildings? That's the winner. Who's got the technology? That's the winner. We're not technology people. I can look at you and I can say, I can relate to you. I'm not a high-tech guy. Yes, I may have properties in Santa Clara, Silicon Valley, but the money is in real estate. And the game is, the skill is based on numbers. How much, most of the answers I tell you is, let's figure out the numbers. What's the market? How much is going to increase? How much am I going to put? Can I get the money from a partner? Can I get the money from a syndication? Imagine you get set up to, you get so good to a point where investors invest with you. The banks want to give you the money, and you come in putting the people together to make the deals happen. And you're like the maestro, you don't play any instruments, but all the music is played and everybody benefits. The problem is people want to make it all in 1 month or 1 year. But I've been in the business so long that I can tell you it pays off over time. Incrementally, there is the tipping point and you make it so big. And if you're too old, just consider you're setting the seeds for your kids, and make sure you do that estate and the will saying the kids will have the income if it's set up in the trust and continues to come into the trust that goes from your kids to your grandkids, the spouses and all this. They don't get anything because you don't know who they're going to get married to, right? you do things the right way and you will be happy for years to come.